Yes, 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 yes. Good evening, good evening. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. So, what a whirlwind 48 hours we have had as Spurs fans. What a whirlwind we have had. Sorry if you heard the dog there. He thought that someone was at the door, and they are not at the door. What a whirlwind we've had. According to all reports, it looks like Dragusin, Radu Dragusin, has completed his medical at Spurs. And as far as I can see, it looks like a completion of the deal will be imminent. Off the back of that today, there's been lots of talk about a number 8 as well, about Spurs signing a number 8. And we found out how much money Radu Dragusin's going to get paid. So stick with us for that one. And we'll go through. We'll see if Fabrizio Romano has had any further things to say in regards to Tottenham. I'm just flicking through now. I see that there's a lot about Leonardo Bonucci, about Sasha Boye. Is he going to PSG or not? PSG are denying that. Chelsea's young Frankie Runham has signed his first professional contract at Chelsea. But at the moment, we haven't had a here we go. But what we have had is, we have had the here we go. We haven't had the confirmed that he's actually signed yet. Let's have a look and see what was said. I'm just trying to find it. The problem is, here we go. There we go. God, Romano doesn't half tweet. Jesus. He doesn't half tweet the boy. By the way, big up. Keep smashing the like button. You know the rules by now. 38 likes, 150 of you in here at the moment. And I want to say a massive thank you from the bottom of my heart to absolutely everybody that has subscribed and liked in the last 48, 72 hours, the last week, the last 2 weeks. Since I came back from my break, since I went back to having the channel by myself, I feel like we've had a real good momentum, some good shows, some good energy. And I can't do that without all of you lot. So I really, really do appreciate it. Here is what Fabrizio Romano said. Let's have a look. There we go. Fabrizio Romano, 2 hours ago, said Radu Dragusin's medical test took place at Tottenham's ground as he's going to sign the contract soon. So they've taken place. Details of the contract: around 3 million salary per season. Deal valid until June 2029. The documents are already exchanged between Spurs and Genoa for 25 million plus 5 million euro deal. Now, that's the last of it. That's what we've seen. Look, there was nothing before that. There's been nothing after that in regards to Tottenham Hotspur. But the key thing there, the key thing that you would say there, I love that picture of him in a Spurs shirt. The key thing you would say there is 3 million euros per year. Now, somebody in the chat might tell me if I'm wrong. I worked that out. By the way, we're going to have some guests throughout the show. We've asked Danny Kiriakou, Mr. Box Office at some point, Alan Clark from Time Added On, Jacob from United Spurs of America has been sent the link as well. Sean has as well. So it all depends who's available at what time. But lots of them have been sent the link to join at some point throughout the next hour or so, next 2 hours. I make it that makes his salary £57,000 per week. 57,000 euros per week. Now, if I'm not wrong, 57,000 euro. Hang on, 57,000 euros in pounds is £49,000 a week. So that will be just over 49k per week for a player of that ability. That is absolutely crazy. So fair play. I'm going to say it. Clip it. Jot it down. Fair play to Daniel Levy and to his staff for getting this deal done. The agent of Radu Dragusin has come out and said as many things. Fantastic work for the club to get this over the line. We fended off Bayern Munich at the end. And I mean, absolutely brilliant. So now we're just waiting for yes, he has signed a contract and he is a Spurs player. But as far as we can see, everything's going well. Past the medical, I'm sure we would have heard if he hadn't. In other news tonight, you've got You have got Liverpool taking on Fulham tonight in the first leg of the League Cup semi-final. Just remember that Middlesbrough did beat Chelsea 1-0 last night. It sparked a lot of talk about Pochettino being sacked. I've been asked about it I've been asked about it all day on all the shows I've been on. That's what I've been asked about. By the way, the link is in the chat if you would like to subscribe as we head towards 13K and we're getting there rapidly. Let me have a look, shall we? Before we do anything, let me have a look and see who is in the chat tonight. By the way, whoever's in the chat, there's only 66 people that have liked it, so sort that out. Big up, Amy. So congrats on Radu. I thought he would go to Bayern. Happy he kept his word. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Killian Kenny is here. Saying, hi, Savva. I'm joining you before Liverpool Fulham. Predictions in the chat. Feel free to put your predictions in the chat for Liverpool versus Fulham. Leonardo Bonucci, by the way, has arrived in Istanbul. He's joining from Union Berlin. So it's all happening there. Jadon Sancho has completed his loan move to Borussia Dortmund. So it's all happening. So has Ian Maatsen from Chelsea. So it's all happening. Chelsea United started to let players go. None of the other clubs have started to make moves yet. Who are they going to go for? Who do you think? Are City going to make moves? Are Liverpool going to make moves? Let me know what you think. Who do you think? Liverpool, by the way, today have just loaned out Fabio Carvalho to Hull. Great move for Hull. He's a very good player, he is. Daniela Zito is in the chat saying, good evening, Savva. I hope you're doing well. Absolutely. I don't think Romero should be in the squad on Sunday. I fear he's being rushed back too quickly. Yeah, I mean, we don't know if he is. Look, we did get the news this morning that he wants to play Sunday. Whether or not the medical staff and the club feel the same, we will see. A big up George that said like and sub, please. Yes, please do like and sub. That would be very, very, very nice of you. Big up Sean Smith. Big up to you, my friend. John Clark that said, evening, Savva. Good show earlier with Terry. Any snippets for us this evening? I don't know. Hopefully, it's one of those ones where you hope while you're going live that it is confirmed. It is confirmed that we get him. I'm keeping you up to date on the Tottenham Hotspur official Twitter page. The last thing that was on there, let's have a look. The last thing that was on there. Let's have a look at a few of these things, shall we? Right, I should never sing. I should never, ever sing. Right, here is a few things on the Tottenham Hotspur Twitter page. Hopefully you can see that. So the first thing we can see there is Timo Werner and Richarlison. Let's hope that the one on the left is taking the place of the one on the right. So Timo and Richarlison, they're together. The second is a video of Timo Werner being welcomed to the club by Vicario, doing some weights on his legs, just being put through his paces. Nice. He can jump. That's nice, isn't it? He can hop. He can jump. He can hold a pole and talk. He can hug. Brilliant. Get him in. Get him up front. Then we have got a video of Timo lacing up. Tottenham love it, don't they? They love a cheeky little video. Timo Werner lacing up in his new Spurs get-up. So this is all very, very exciting from Tottenham Hotspur. Let's see. And then if we go down, I have no idea what that is. Sorry. Here is Timo with Rodrigo Bentancur. Look, he can high five. He can shake hands. Here is the behind-the-scenes footage of Timo Werner. Timo Werner behind the scenes, just doing some running with all of these wires to check out what he's been up to. Let's see if there's any... There we go. Then, if you look further down, more Timo where he saw his shirt for the first time. And more Timo, the numbers so far. So you can see there, 103 games. 14 goals for Stuttgart, 213 games and 113 goals for Leipzig. That's the one we want. That's the one we want. And before that, it was more Timo and more Timo and more Timo. I've got a feeling, guys and girls, that we might have signed Timo Werner on loan. So let's get him straight into the team. Let me know in the chat. There's the question, yes or no. Timo Werner straight into the team for Sunday against Man United or not? Straight into the team or not? Let me know. And if you are saying yes, come on, hang on, Daddy Kyriako trying to get, he's on his way home. If you say yes, let me know what you want your front three to be. Big up to Futures Bright. Lily White, big up to you. Hope you're well. I won't be able to say hello to everyone or get all the comments up because there's a lot of people. Phil Coys has said, big up Savva. Left back, midfielder and striker as well, please, Mr. Levy. Credit where credit's due. You have backed Anne since he's come through the door. Yeah, for me, I'd still like to see a better forward that he's backed him with. So far, Brennan Johnson and Werner. Yeah. But yes, credit where it's due. He has got some good players over the line. I can't feel that we're going to sign all these players in this window, though. But why not? Shoot for the stars, as they say. Big up Robert Wilson. Said things are starting to look good. I'm enjoying being a fan of the club once again. Agreed. That's the main thing. That's what I wanted to come out of this year. Mark Cook, big up to you. Big up to Rico. Big up to Ryan Griffiths. Big up to get the fraud Arteta out my club. Big up to you. Carl Valencia says, can we get Gallagher in now? I still can't see that Chelsea will sell their current captain. I just can't see it. I would take him. I think there's another one who divides opinion. But by the way, keep smashing that like button and that subscribe button. We haven't had any subscribers tonight. So if you haven't, please do. And the link is pinned. The link is pinned. Chasey, big up to you, my friend. I said, hi, Savva, how you doing? What the hell is happening to Levy? All right, he's only spent 25 million euros. Hang on. He's only spent 25 million euros. Let's not go on like we've spent 100 million or something. We're doing what we should be doing as a football club. That's the important thing. Man, you have said you are live all the time. Listen, the people, I can easily stop the show, but I'm pretty sure Spurs fans in this time want content. The Madrid derby is going on. Is that on right now? Is that on right now? Hang on, let me have a look. Where are we? Not on TNT, not on TNT Sports 2. Via Players, Lazio v Roma. Is that on? Is that live right now? Let me have a little look to see what live football is on. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. Italy. No, I don't know what that game's from then. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. Let me see what channel it's on. It's on. Oh, it's not on. It doesn't look like it's on. That's great. Thank you. Hate it when they do that. Can't believe that game is not on. Isn't that why some of us play Viaplay? Live Viva La Liga. No, that is disappointing, people. That's really, really, really disappointing. Anyone know what channel the football is on tonight? Anyone know what channel the Liverpool game is on tonight? Let me know. Sorry. Right. Where are we? Daniel Turner said, good evening all. Good evening to you, Daniel. Tay Coconut said he's signed already, apparently. Yeah, we're waiting for the, I'm guessing they're doing some sort of video and all that. So it might not be tonight. It might be tomorrow. Josh Dean has said, when do you think the Dragusin reveal will take place? I'd like to think it'll be tonight. You never know, do you? It might be tonight. It might not. And there's motion at my front door. Is that my wife? Yeah, it is. Hello. I'm streaming. She's like, yeah, what's new? Wes, big up. It's a big up Savva chat. I read somewhere his agent said he turned down double what Spurs were offering because he wanted the Premier League and it would be better for his career. Absolutely. I've heard the very same thing. Absolutely brilliant to see that. Somebody that is a man of his word. That's what we have been missing from football for far too long. Good evening to Tony Rodriguez as well. Big up to Paul. Big up to you. Big up to Darius as well. Big up Savva. 60% was enough to enter the Dragusin. 60% is what we said, wasn't it? Apparently Van der Ven is on the same salary. 49k per week. In football terms seems low, but can you imagine being on £49,000 a week? I don't know what I'd do. I genuinely don't. I think I'd probably die from having too much fun partying and stuff. But hey, Swanek said, we don't need Fabrizio. Dragusin's agent is proper chatty. He said the contract is signed and he backs the club to announce it this evening. Yes, yeah, he does like a chat, doesn't he, that man, which could be a problem in the future, but not now. George has said his salary will increase quickly, Savva. He's only 21. If he performs, they'll try and tie him down. Absolutely. I've got no doubt about that, my friend. By the way, if anyone is looking at Real Madrid 1, Atletico Madrid 1 is the latest score. 20 minutes gone. Hermoso scored after 7 minutes for Atletico. This is the Super Cup semi-finals, by the way. And Rudiger has just scored an equaliser for Real Madrid. So Real Madrid 1, Atletico Madrid 1. Probably why I can't find it on the La Liga channel, because it's in the cup. Big up EMYC said we killed 3 birds with 1 stone. Dragusin, unloaded Spence, and about to say adios to Dyer. Yeah, that is definitely one that we need to look out for in the coming days. What is going to happen to Eric Dyer? Is he now going to go to Bayern Munich? Does he go somewhere else? Do Bayern go for him? Do they go for Kevin Danso? Lots happening in this transfer window. Liston Hines said Ange apparently had several phone calls with Dragusin to get him over the line. He must have a hypnotic voice, getting deals done left, right and centre. Maybe Ange should be our technical director of football as well as our manager. By the way, as I said, I have got guests coming for you in the next hour or so, so please bear with me. Alex is at the gym and then going to join us. Listen, I can't wait to see what Mr. Box Office says. Alan from Time Added On. I said Jacob's got the details. So has Sean. And so has Danny Kiriakou. So this should be interesting. Big up Chris Beresford, one of my good friends. I said Tottenham Hotspur Football Club will work on signalling? Read properly, Savva. On signing a central midfielder. Targets include Morton Frendrup, Brian Cristante and Hayden Hackney. Now, I really like Brian Cristante. I'm not sure Roma are going to sell him to us, but I do like Cristante. He's a massive upgrade on Højbjerg. A massive upgrade on Højbjerg. Goodland has said if he does well, then he will get a pay rise. Absolutely. That's all of us, right? We should all get a pay rise. We should all get a pay rise in our lives. Big up to Martin Knightsbridge, who comes in with the super chat. Always very generous. Love Martin to bits. Has said, could you imagine earning 50k a week at 21? Martin, I'm not 21 and I still can't imagine earning 50k a week. I don't know. It would just be absolutely crazy. Big up to Khaleesi the dog as well. Big up to Khaleesi the dog. Great name for a dog. Ricardo has said, good evening, lads. Good evening to you, Ricardo, as well. Dingo Yid, who is also a channel member, said, hope Perchy's doing okay. Perchy's doing fine. He's just coming away from social media. Good evening to Dan Skyline. Good evening to you as well, my friend. EMYC said they say even players run to hear Ange when he gives his speeches because they don't want to miss a word. Well, lots of pressure being put on Ange now, but it's all good. Wow, all the ITK people said he was offered 150 a week at Bayern. Well, his agent said he was offered more than double, so it could be that. I mean, it'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it, what the numbers were, but fair play to him. Fair play to him. In regards to tonight's game, Ryan Griffiths has said 3-1 to Liverpool. Just quickly, where is it? Sorry, I should have done this before. So Liverpool playing later at home to Fulham. Does anyone think Fulham are going to go through over 2 legs? Have Liverpool got too much? By the way, in that game, I'll just let you know that Liverpool have gone strong. Well, they've gone strong enough. They've gone with Kelleher in goal, Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk and Bradley. So young Connor Bradley gets a start tonight. Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister and Curtis Jones with Harvey Elliott, Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota. And Fulham have gone with Leno, Castagne, Tosin Adarabioyo, Diop and Robinson. Paulinho, Reed, De Cordova Reed, Pereira, Willian and Jimenez. So both teams have gone strong for tonight's game. Keep liking, keep subscribing, people. We've got guests coming for you as well. Jessica has said Liverpool should win 3-1. Andreas has also gone 3-1. So far, everyone's gone 3-1. Ronnie has gone with Liverpool 2, Fulham 2. Frankie said, don't need the headphones, Savva. Keep up the great streams. I do need the headphones because there are going to be people joining me. But I do naturally come in, put these on, and then realise I don't need them. So let's not use them for the moment until others get here. And I'll tell you what's just happened is my ears have got very cold, and you can see what a mess my hair is. Absolutely disgusting scenes going on in my hair. Ryan has said we're linked with that. Oh, Wolves are linked with Danny Ings. No, it's too cold. It's too cold. These are going back on. We're linked with Danny Ings at Wolves. Wow. Interesting. Lugger Luke, 63 Lugger Luke has said, is this the best January transfer window in Spurs Premier League history? I don't think we can answer questions like that until the players have played. Yeah. They could both be amazing and you say yes. They could both be terrible and you say no. So let's wait and see first. Let's not jump to massive conclusions. EMYC said we need Romero for the City game. Only if he's fit for me, because otherwise it's a big ask. City make you chase, don't they? They make you chase. George, big up to you, George. Said, hope you're good, mate. Smash the likes up, people. Savva, one of the hardest workers on YouTube. Amen. One of the hardest workers, always trying to give content to people, but only 136 likes and 490 in here. Now, that is absolutely awful conversion rates. Let's smash those likes. We should be at 250 and keep subscribing. We've had 3 or 4 tonight. Let's keep powering through. David Carroll said Benzema on loan to Man U. Watch this space. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see what Benzema they get. Obviously, I've not really seen what he's done out there, but we will find out. Chris Foster said, hey, Savva, it's difficult to pick our first 11 when all fit. A nice problem to have. But absolutely, that's the problem you want. I've been so bored down the years of always going, that's our 11. That's the 11. Let's, right, so this was in response to should Timo Werner start for Tottenham Hotspur this weekend? Yes. Raiden has a good feeling on him. Yes. Hill is the alternative. Yes. Big Dave, 83. I love that. Big Dave, 83 has said no. Yes. Absolutely yes. Who would start over him? You never know. You got Brennan Johnson. You got Richarlison. Who started at the weekend? Brennan Johnson. Who started at the weekend? Brennan Johnson, Richarlison, and... Why has my mind gone blank? I can't think who started. I really can't think who started against Burnley. Richarlison was through the middle. Brennan Johnson and Kulu, right? Brennan Johnson and Kulu. But I'm guessing Kulu will come into midfield. Yes, on the left. Timo in straight away. Timo to score. No pressure, Timo Werner. No pressure. Johnson, Richie and Werner. Yeah. It doesn't scream. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Brennan, Werner and Richie. Yep. Brennan, Werner and Kulu. People are looking to drop Richarlison. Tafluck has said, shameless Celso's injured. I mean, when is this man not injured? Always injured. I would sell him and get funds in and buy someone who's not always injured. Just me. But he's made of biscuits, isn't he? He's completely made of biscuits, this man. Bernard has said Timo in the centre, Richie on the left, Brennan on the right. So you want to put Richie out wide on the left as opposed to straight down the middle. Interesting. William has said, I'm impressed with the 2 signings so far. Hopefully we'll get a midfield player. If we sign a midfielder, we'll have a perfect window. I mean, it all depends on who, right? We can't just say, oh, we've signed players, it's perfect. Depends how they fit in, how many minutes they get, what they do. A window for me, I think people judge windows when they've shut. I think you can only judge a window a bit further down the line when you've seen the impact. So, for example, 2 windows ago, Real Madrid, by the way, are 2-1 up. By the way, Mendy has got the goal. 2 windows ago, it was a great window in the end, wasn't it? Bentancur and Kulu had a massive impact. You could say in the back end of last year, it wasn't a great window. In the short term, Porro was poor last season, but looked very good this year. So how do you judge the window? Is it on the immediate impact? Is it on the long term? Phil, yes, but this is Daniel Levy. I think most people would rather Eze, but Eze, 1, isn't going to do the job Gallagher's going to do, and 2, is going to cost about 70 to 80 million. So I think we need to be a little bit realistic here. I would love Eze. I would love Elise, but they're going to cost a bomb. They're going to cost a bomb, and I just can't see us going in for them. Chris O'Sullivan has said Johnson, Richarlison and Werner. Dushen has said, big up everyone. Dushen out there in South Africa. Trying to remember everyone and where they're from. Big up to you. Trying. There's a lot of people. Eze is class. Yeah, Eze is absolutely class. Paul, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, apparently there's 3 Premier League teams. There's 3 Premier League teams apparently in for Che Adams. Be interesting to see who they are. Sky Sports, dude. I don't know what that means. Sorry, what's on Sky Sports? Are you saying that, Liverpool versus Fulham will be on Sky Sports, will it? And I'm guessing it's an 8 p.m. kickoff. Yes, let's go over there and see what's happening. I think it's an 8 p.m. kickoff. Someone will let me know. It is an 8 p.m. kickoff indeed. And a player is on the screen who I'm always quite impressed with. Curtis Jones, I think a good player. And Harvey Elliott. Good players, those two. Sakil has said buy Morgan Gibbs-White for 40 million and 5 million add-ons. Would he be 40 million? Hey! Sorry, dog going mad. Would he be 40 million? Sakil, I can't see any way, shape or form that Nottingham Forest sell their best player for 40 million plus 5 million in add-ons. I think Daniel Levy's getting into your brain a bit there that everyone can be got cheap. They will definitely not let an English homegrown star player leave for £40 million. Phil, he might tick a lot of boxes for us, but not for Daniel Levy. John has said, Savva, has Dragusin passed his medical? I'm led to believe he's done it, and we haven't heard anything bad, so I'm assuming that he's passed it. Assuming, the worst thing in the world you can do, but I'm assuming anyway. Why not? Where are we? John Ellis Hall has said, good evening, Savva. Good evening to you. John is, of course, a channel member. John, tell these people, come on, smash the likes. We're working out here hard for you. People like myself, Henry, Sean, and the gang. Everyone is working hard. And we've got 186 likes. You lot are like Richarlison. You lot are Richarlison. There's over 515 of you in here and growing by the second. I don't think we're going to quite reach this morning's numbers of 1,100 people watching. It's quite mad when you think about that. 1,100 people watching this face, this ugly mug with this beard that's all over the shop. Sorry about that. It's just my face. Donny said, how's Matthew Craig? Just signed him on loan from you lot. Donny, if I'm really honest, I've not seen Matthew Craig really. I think he might have come on in a cup game at one point, but we haven't seen him. I don't think he's quite ready for the Spurs first team yet. So I don't know. It's going to be you telling us how good Matthew Craig is. But look after him on loan, please. Look after him and send him back in one piece. Lee Adler, big up, Lee. How you doing, my friend? Long time no see. Oh, sorry, it might have been earlier, but I do so many streams, I don't know. Said, evening, Savva. Let's hope we now get a decent box-to-box midfielder. Damn right we need a decent box-to-box midfielder. By the way, George, who's always very generous, has just gifted one of you a channel membership for the month. Now, just to put it out there, when George does this, he doesn't get to decide who it goes to. Neither do I. YouTube auto-generates it. So I'm going to see who that went to, unless anybody knows before I do. You probably do. I'm always the last to know everything. Leo was gifted a membership by George. So big up, Leo. Thank you so much, George, for that. Now, Leo, you'll be a channel member for a month, and then it will ask you whether you want to renew it or not. Up to you. I never ask anyone to part ways with their money. What I do ask from people is likes and subscribes because it is free. But big up to George, big up Leo, and big up to all the channel members inside the place. Where are we? Loads of you in the chat, lots going on. Let me know what's going to be your back four for Man United. Man United, what's going to be your back four? You've got Van der Ven back from injury. Romero apparently is throwing his hat in the ring. Dragusin's just joined and should be training with the boys tomorrow. Absolutely mad. Where are we? 7:24. Oh, I am so far behind. Good evening, Piccolo9. So good evening, Savva, or good morning from here in Australia. Good evening and good morning all at the same time to all of my Australian fellow Spurs fans and friends out there. John has said, now let's get rid of Højbjerg and get in a good central midfielder. Yes, that would make the window even better. Absolutely. Mr. AJ said, good evening, mate. Happy and surprised that Dragusin picked us over Bayern as they are elite. Fair play to him. Also, Cristante or Gallagher. I think Gallagher personifies what you need. Cristante is the better player. I would take either of those two at Tottenham. For me, they're both very good additions to the club. Cristante plays for Roma. He plays for Jose over in Roma. Look at this. Look at this sexy man coming. Sean.
How you doing?
I'm loving this. Look at that Barnet. What's going on?
Just had a wash.
Love it.
And a shave. And now I feel like a fat Humpty Dumpty.
Mate, if it makes you feel
Humpty Dumpty hopped on a stream. Humpty Dumpty had a bad dream. All the centre backs.
Oh, is that it?
And all of his men. And suddenly Romero was fit again. I don't know. What we suddenly got too many centre backs, mate.
Yeah, I know. I tell you what's funny.
Choice.
I tell you what's funny. Someone sent me a meme earlier. It was a picture, of it showed Dragusin just entering the airport, and then it showed. Do you remember when the Undertaker used to be in the casket? And then the music would play and he'd just sit up, and it was Romero. Yeah. It was Romero sitting up like, hang on, what? A new centre up? I was like, all right, listen, it's only a good thing, right? It's a kick up the arse for him, not saying that'd be bad, but it's a kick up the arse for him, for Van der Ven, for all the other defenders now that you're going to have to play good. You're going to have to play well to keep your place in a Tottenham team. It's good, right?
Yeah, it's great. But we've got too many centre backs. We have got listen. We've gone from famine to feast. Like Dragusin's in, Royale's fit, Ben Davies ain't far away.
You're putting Royale as a fully converted centre back now.
Listen, Royale's thinking I ain't done anything wrong. Why am I getting dropped?
Yeah,
he's like, well, what's going on here?
So I've asked everyone in the chat. Listen, I'm all over the place. There's so many comments. I've asked everyone in the chat. Presuming Dragusin's, he should be in the squad. He's going to sign tonight. He should be in the squad. Romero's throwing his hat in the ring to say, hello, I'm fit again.
Don't forget about me.
Van der Ven's trained, must have trained all week after being on the bench Friday night. Must have trained before that as well. What's your back four for Man United at Old Trafford on Sunday?
Emerson, Royale, and Van der Ven.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, so Dragusin and Romero on the bench?
Or one of them. One of them left out of the squad altogether. Teach him some lessons. Teach him some manners. Now, listen, I don't know. I think the Van der Ven, I think the Romero, if he hasn't trained, he ain't playing.
Yeah.
He can't just suddenly say, I'm ready. I'm ready, boss. Like, you got to go and train. Show us you're ready. If he's ready, of course, if he's actually fit and ready, then it's great. But what you don't want him to rush back. You got to protect these players. If he's just panicking, that his place is under threat and he's like, no, I'm good. But if he's not, then no chance. If he is, you put him in. And then as far as Dragusin goes, I think you have to wait and see what he's like playing the high line. But we haven't even held the shirt up yet. So, let's assume that he's that's done tonight, and then tomorrow morning he's at the training ground. How long they got? 48 hours. Got 2 training sessions. He's not going to learn the system in 2 training sessions, is he?
What's there to learn? There's our goal. Stop the ball going in there.
Yeah,
just stop it.
True.
Just
Simple.
If it's in the air, head it out. It's on the floor. Kick. You know, no. Look,
I think he'll be a fast learner. I think from what I've heard about him, he's an intelligent guy. So, but I don't know if he'll be ready to know the system, and you know. So for me, if Romero's not fully fit and Dragusin can't figure it out in 2 training sessions, I think you stick with Royale.
Do you not think, like, I mean, he did with Van der Ven, didn't he? He chucked him straight in. I mean, we had this conversation. He chucked him straight in. By the way, I've just seen a wonderful comment that said, hang on, sorry, I've got to read the super chat now. It says, tonight, Matthew, Sean is meatloaf. Meatloaf. Wow. Jesus Christ. Who remembers that? Was it Stars in Their Eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stars in Their Eyes with Matthew
Kelly,
Kelly.
I think his name. No, Matthew
Kelly, wasn't it?
Matthew Kelly. That's it. Yeah,
Matthew Kelly.
Yeah,
when some normal bloke walks up and they went, what's your name? Oh, it's John. And who are you going to be tonight? Tonight I'm going to be Elton John. And then the curtain went down and they came back up and
it was the smoke. It was the smoke. They used to go into the smoke and then suddenly they come back out of the smoke.
That's it. That's it. The smoke. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. Martin, thank you so much. And to Khaleesi, the dog. Khaleesi, the dog. There it is. Big up to you, Martin. Thank you so much. Look, it's going to be interesting, right? Because suddenly you've gone from, oh my God, we might have to play Dorrington centre half to, hang on, who's sitting on the bench?
Not too many. Too many centre-backs.com.
These are the problems I have wanted Spurs to have for years. I don't see these as bad things at all. I want that. I want Dragusin or Romero or Van der Ven to be sitting on a bench, watching the other 2 play, thinking, I need to get in here. What can I do? I've got to train better. I've got to eat better. Do you know what I mean? That's how you become a Liverpool, a City. That's how you get to those levels, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Lots of talk today, mate, about midfielders. Lots of, you know what it was like. It was right, here we go. And then all of a sudden, everyone was like, Spurs are also trying to get a number 8. And names have been thrown around.
Yeah, the story's now quickly moved on. So thank God we got that done to what's next.
Absolutely. So I was going to say,
that's the consumer lifestyle, the consumer economy that we work in. You're never satisfied. It's like Pringles. You know, once you get one signing, you just can't stop.
Yeah. I mean, well, listen here, but going on from this, I mean, Jamie said, like, Savva, if the winner close tonight, would you be happy with the 2 signings you made, or would you in your head be thinking we could have got one more in like a number 8? I'll thank you, Jamie, for that question. I'll throw this to you, Sean. Are we being greedy now? I mean, we're not used to this, Sean. We're not used to 2 signings in 10 days. There's 21 days to go. Are we being greedy, or is this a case of, well, hang on, we're pushing, just push a bit more? Is there that, or are we? What do you reckon?
No, I think now. Look, if Tottenham, I guarantee you, just like in the summer, Tottenham got most of their business done early, right? And then there was like that lull, and everyone was like, ended up thinking was it that summer or the summer before? I forget. Where there was, we did like most of our business in the first 4 or 5 weeks, and we're cooking here, and then it just went quiet until very late on, and I think Tottenham fans are always like, "What have you done for me lately?" So if this is it, as much as Tottenham fans 2 weeks ago were saying you've got to get it done in the first week of January, now we've done it. If this is it, people will reflect on the window and go, "Well, you know, we had 3 more weeks."
Yeah.
3 more weeks.
Yeah. We started strongly, but it completely tailed off. You know what I mean? Like, but midfielders that are being linked now, it's gone mad today. You know how it is. I've seen.
Settings.
There is.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Playboy vibes, man. Playboy vibes. We've had Wharton from Blackburn. Is it Wharton from Blackburn? Mm-hmm. We've seen the young lad from Middlesbrough, who is, I can't remember his name for love nor money.
Hackney.
Hayden Hackney. Hey, Natney, tonight we've seen that we've been linked with Brian Cristante of Roma. Conor
Dan
Gallagher's
Neil.
name just won't go away.
Dan Neil as well.
Dan who?
Dan Neil from Sunderland.
Oh, another youngster. I'm going to ask
Good
you.
players, though, mate. All three of those youngsters are going to be in the Premier League, and they're all a number 6. Clearly, Tottenham are after a 6 or like a defensive midfielder who can do a bit.
But I'm going to ask you this. Do you want to see, look, oh God, we've got somebody else with sexy hair. This is, I feel very under-equipped for this show. I feel really under-equipped.
Hang on a second. Why is it like that? We haven't got Dragger settings. We agreed this last night, mate.
Oh, yep. Sorry, hang on.
What are we doing?
I got to do it for the man.
We manifested it last night. In fact, now what we need to do is figure out who do we want next. Who do we want next? If it's Conor Gallagher, we got to go and do the Conor Gallagher haircut. Like, those things have got to be put in place.
I mean, clearly it's up to Sean and I who we get, because yesterday on Henry's show, we said, I was having doubts. I said, you know what? Between Bayern and Spurs, surely he's got to take Bayern. That's what my rationale has to say. But clearly Sean knows better than I. He said, sir, you have to believe we're getting him. No doubt. Put the hair in a bun. And we did. So
it happened.
Very good.
And now you've given Sean way too much credit for the complete signing of Radu Dragusin. It was all down to Sean.
It was always down
Sean
to
got
Sean.
it done.
Yeah.
Finally,
welcome.
Finally, people are starting to recognise my involvement and my impact with this club. Right, the influence is there. It's always been there.
Yes,
it takes a bit of time for you lot to catch on.
Yes, Sean is Daniel Levy. There you go. You just heard it here first. Sean is the person behind that Donna Cullen account, paying in rupees. Sean is behind Donna Cullen.
I've got a PayPal wallet that's in rupees, and I just got to set up the VPN to make sure I'm getting those rupees sent over.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, look, Jacob, you've joined us at a time when we're talking about everything moves quickly. Spurs get 2 signings, and immediately it's gone to, right, where's the central midfielder? We need a central midfielder. And the ITKs, they obliged Jacob by giving us this news that could be complete BS or it could be brilliant. We're hearing names like Hayden Hackney, Wharton of Blackburn. Then the other end of the scale, you've got Conor Gallagher from Chelsea, Brian Cristante from Roma is a name being thrown about by a few ITKs today, who's a very good player. You've got Joe Bellingham of Sunderland is another name. I'm going to ask you, Jacob, if we get in another midfielder, which I assume would be to pave the way for a Højbjerg to leave, are you wanting it to be someone young, or would you like somebody a little bit more? It doesn't have to be old, but more of a senior pro who can come in and hit the ground running. What do you think the squad needs from that from the number 8 or 6, whatever we're bringing in?
Well, I think, in a healthy squad, Basuma fulfills that number 8 role that we kind of look at. He's pretty senior. He's 27, 28, something like that.
Yep,
so
yep.
I think maybe a younger midfielder is fine with me. I don't necessarily need to replace a old head with an old head, in my opinion. But, I'm looking at the way how quickly we just said thank you for Dragusin, thank you for Timo Werner. What's next? Because we've all said we need what's next. We knew in the summer we've addressed one of the problems we've known for a long, long time. So yes, I'm going to celebrate today. I'm going to appreciate today, and I'm going to appreciate Sean because he helped manifest this. But I'm also going to, want more. We need more. It's not one guy on loan and one other guy, and then we're done. We have a lot of holes to fill. I mean, we still have
What's the next urge? What's the next thing?
We need a creative attacking mid, because I don't really know when James Madison come back, unless we are saying Kulusevski is that guy. Then I would say that we need another winger if he is going to be that guy, because he fulfills the role that he would fulfill as a winger. If we're moving that to central, then we would need another winger.
Madison's back in training from Friday.
Yeah, but again, if that ankle gets another stomp, who knows how long we're going to be without him. This is something that we all knew in the summer as well, that we didn't have a James Madison backup. We needed some kind of cover, another creative attacking mid. I love the name of Brice Eze being thrown around, but is he going to come here to play James Madison backup? I don't think so. We would have to find a way to then have I
don't think he has to, mate. I think Eze can play on the left 8. It depends on how we're doing it, because at the moment it feels like we're almost doing a double pivot It's almost like a 4-2-3-1, whereas at the start of the season it felt like a 4-1-2-1-3. I had an extra player there. 4-1. Yeah, no, I had an extra player. I don't know. I feel like we've flattened off a double pivot rather than going single pivot 6. And so if you do that,
and I mean that's the thing is
that's that Eze can play the left 8, Eze can play on the left wing, Eze can play in the 10, Eze can play basically anywhere, a bit like Pape Sarr, but just a slightly more advanced player. And I'm a big fan of Eze. I just don't think it's look. Stranger things have happened. I think we've got money, and I think that Tottenham are recognizing that our competition can't spend that much money right now. Newcastle can't spend it. Arsenal can't spend it. Man United can't spend it. So Chelsea can't spend it. And so, for me, I would rather go and spend 50, 60 million on an Eze than 40, 50 million on a Conor Gallagher. Even though I'm okay with Conor Gallagher, I'm a big fan of him. I think he would suit the system. If we go that way, absolutely fine with me. But if you hand over 50 million to Chelsea, they're a bigger threat to us than Crystal Palace are. And Chelsea can use that 50 million on their books immediately to then go and finance a big move for a striker or a goalkeeper or whatever it is they want to do. So maybe we got to play a little bit of 4D chess, pay a little bit more money and go and get the guy from Palace. And then Palace can go and reinvest and do what they want to do. But let's not help out Chelsea. Maybe there's a little bit of a...
Do you guys listen? I don't know about you. I love Eze. I think Eze and Elise are two top footballers that they make things happen. They get you off your seat. How much do you really think? How much do you think Jacob and Eze would cost? Because I don't disagree. When I'm seeing everyone say I'd much rather Eze, me too. But I'm guessing he's going to be a lot more expensive.
Now, 85 would be what I assume Crystal to start around. Remember, the homegrown tax. We're talking about Oliver Skip garnering 5 to 7 mil if he was to go. That's only because of homegrown tax. I'm not convinced that it's anything else other than that. But when you look at Abrici Eze's got the... I'm sorry?
You think Ollie Skip is only going to get £5 million?
7 if we're lucky. Yeah.
No,
that would be my guess.
He'll get more than that.
Or I could see 7 with a 3 mil option and maybe 10. Bro, Winks went for 10 to Leicester. You got to imagine be somewhere in and around that ballpark. I'm going to say
Winks is 27, 28, 29. How old's Winks?
27, 28? I think, or 27 or 28. Yeah.
We can find out, can't we?
Look, when it comes to Eze, there's no way you're getting Eze off Crystal Palace right now. Like, they just got him back from injury. He got injured again, and then he came back. I don't see you getting a player like that off of a Premier League side without dropping some serious change. When we're looking at some of these other players that have gone, Havertz went for 65. And does anyone who would rather have Eze or Havertz? And I know they play slightly different roles, but at the same time, we're looking at players that have gone in the recent windows. Eze's not going for less than 80. There's no way. There's just no way Eze goes for less than 80.
Could you actually would you think Ollie Skip would go to Palace?
I don't think he gets in their team. I mean, they've got people like Jefferson Lerma, Czech Decore, Richards. Schlupp can go in there as well. I think Will Hughes. I honestly, sorry guys, I honestly don't think Ollie Skip is a Premier League standard midfielder. If I'm brutally honest, I feel like he needs to do a skip.
I think he is, but in the sense of a Norwich, a side that I think he did so well in the he was in Team of the Year in the Championship. That is his level, a top Championship, bottom Premier League side. He is not the quality of player that any challenging side would ever think. I don't know many benches that he would even get on, to be quite frank, in the top 10. So when you look at Crystal Palace, except for us, except for us. But we've also employed Eric Dyer for 10 years, so we are the anomaly. But I think he could actually get minutes and be a viable option for some of these lower sides, like a Luton. You don't think him and what's his name, the guy who was. Who's that guy? Ross Barkley. Bro, skipping Ross Barkley in the little double pivots might be nice for Luton. Talk to us nicely, Luton. We'll send him for 5.
See, I don't know about you, right? I'll ask you this, Sean. Skip, for me, it's a shame because I think when he burst onto the scene, like many youngsters, right, they burst onto the scene and straight away we all love them because they are from our own youth team. For me, I don't think he's mobile enough in anything he does to be a Premier League midfielder. I just think listen, I'm not doubting. I think he would run through brick walls for you. I think he's probably he looks like a really nice guy. Probably great to have around a training ground, but I don't think technically he's good enough. And I don't think he's got that speed of the agility, if you will.
Or the
midfield.
passing.
or the passing. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm trying to be polite here, Jacob.
Yeah.
Sean, what is it about him?
Can't pass. What's it about him? Why people don't like him, or why people do like him?
Just what level is he? Why?
Oh no, yeah, Jacob nailed it. Jacob nailed it. He's a relegation Premier League type team, or he's a top championship level team. Maybe he could go abroad, and play in like a bit of a slower league.
Yeah, but he would do I think he would do all right in the Serie A.
Go to Holland.
They allow those midfielders.
I don't think he would do okay, and I don't think he'd suit Italy. He certainly wouldn't suit Spain with the technical stuff.
Well, I don't think he's technical enough to play in the Netherlands. That's the worry for me with this guy. I don't know what he is.
You go to Werder Bremen, maybe in Germany or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But he's not.
Skip would do all right in the Serie A. They love their midfielders playing with their back to the opponent's net. That's his game.
Yeah.
I mean, but it does. I mean, so far, what it does show, though, is that we're upskilling, right, in each area. And I think that's something we've not done for years in our team. We've brought players in. We bring a lot of bodies through, guys. But it has felt for many years that it's just numbers. Now, the last couple of windows, it does feel like it's, yeah, you're an upgrade on the guy before you. Oh, yeah, you're an upgrade as well. And that's what I think we need now from Skip and Højbjerg. Now, I don't think Skip will go, but I want to talk about Højbjerg. Does anyone think he's going to end this window at Tottenham? Because he's not been starting in front of Skip. And for me, I can only think that is because he is out of favour and leaving, because there's no way Skip should be starting above Højbjerg, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I think that something's happened. I think that he's had I would doubt he's had a bust up or anything, but I just think that he's not in the team for a reason. And when he came into the team against Burnley, he showed a level of disinterest that I haven't seen from him ever. Almost like a lack of care, lack of professionalism. Even at the start of the season when he came in, Ange went out of his way to say, look, he hasn't played very much, but he's come in and done a really good job, etc. I just don't think Ange fancies him. I don't think Ange fancies him like Ange doesn't fancy Eric Dyer. I think he thinks they don't suit the system. But I also think that Ange doesn't think that Ollie Skip suits the system either. So I reckon if you were to get into Ange's mind, Ange would be like, I'm happy for you to get rid of Skip and I'm happy for you to get rid of Højbjerg. Just get me someone in. We don't need two people. We've already got 8 midfielders. So just get me one. Get rid of both and get me one in. And it probably needs to be homegrown, which is why I think the conversation around Gibbs White or Gallagher or one of these three, Hayden, what's his name? Hayden Hackney, Dan Neil, the other one, whoever it is, whether it's a young guy or a more established guy, I think that's probably the kind of the thought process. But, get rid of 2, bring in 1, and then we're good.
But can you imagine, Jacob? Right, I think not the shockwaves. I don't want to say that, but the message it would send to other clubs if the midfielder we bring in isn't, no offense to these young lads, but isn't a Hackney or a Wharton, but is a Cristante, it is a Gibbs White or an Eze. I mean, can you imagine that people then start going, hang on, they're serious? Like that would be a real intention, wouldn't it? Show real intention.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the business sense of it, going about it rather timidly, I think is a better approach, because I'm going to refer back to the Timo Werner deal. Feels like in years past, we would have given him like a 2 or 3 year contract or something in the January window because we need an attacker. Whereas now we're doing a 6-month loan with an option. And so it really just plays into our hands favorably, I think. And I'm looking at the midfield replacement of Højbjerg and Skip to be something similar along those lines, to be something that, number one, business-wise makes sense, and 2, I don't want to spend big on a gamble. You know what I mean? I feel like with Werner, that's a gamble that he's going to do anything for us. But we're not spending big. We're spending his salary, and that's it. And Dragusin, it's not that big of an investment. If he, takes a couple games to get acclimated to the league, and I think that's fine. So when I look the names that you listed, if I'm not mistaken, one of those big names was he plays in the Serie A right now, which I'm not saying it's this vast step from the Serie A to the Premier League, but it is still a gamble, right? When we signed Vicario, I ain't never heard of him. I never watched Empoli. A lot of people never heard of him. A lot of people said this is the cheap option, the cheaper route. And, I want an Eze and one of those household names, right? But financially, business-wise, does it make sense to do it in January when we could probably go and get that long-term replacement in the summer? I don't know. I don't really know what the best answer is to that. And I think I've, in a roundabout way, sort of answered what you asked, Savva. But
yeah, why not?
I just, with some of those names, Hayden Hackney, I ain't heard of the dude till he scored the winner versus Chelsea yesterday. You know what I mean? And then now we're linked to this guy. Some of this seems like ITKs can be as reactionary as fan bases can be. And I think they're like, okay, what's the next thing to get these fans biting and chewing on? Okay, here's 3 names. Let's throw those around. And I just think, I'm expecting us to do something like what we did with the Vicario deal. We have a name. These are the names you're looking at, but then here comes this guy you never heard of.
Right, yeah,
he's actually a star. Bentancur, I never heard of that guy. Kulusevski,
look over
never
there,
heard of that guy.
Look over there while there's loads
Boom.
of activity going on
And this
over
is
here.
and this is like a medium level business transaction, not a 60, 70 million, 85 if it's for Eze, right? This is a 30, 40 guy. You're like, maybe a few people heard of, maybe a few people haven't. That's kind of what I'm expecting us to do. If it happens in January, I'd be a little bit more surprised. I would expect something like that more in the summer, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Kefran Turan, would you go after him?
I would.
I think he's class.
Yeah,
he's 22. I think he's so lovely to watch. He just dribbles the ball. He's got a beautiful pass, beautiful vision. There's a lot of really good ball playing defensive midfielders that can contribute going forward. There's the thing. A lot out there.
Yeah, there's a name that I even think of, Manu Kone as well. I know he was linked with Liverpool last summer. He's a great central mid, and he reminds me of like Asar, but with a little bit better ball playing abilities.
Yes.
And
yeah.
And that's the kind of midfielders I like. Not too old, not too much skin in the game, but enough to where they can hold their own. And I think that this guy would be a great addition. On Manu Kone from Gladbach, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
I'll tell you a player I like as well, and I want to pick up these type of players. It's like when Palace went and got Decore, you're thinking, who's this? And you watch him play and go, oh, what a job. And he's going to be at Palace for a year, 2 years, and then we'll move on. That's a good player. So there are, like Sean, like you said, there's lots of very good midfielders around the world, and we can definitely upskill on Skip and Højbjerg. And dare I say it, I truly believe that Lo Celso is becoming a real issue. He's never fit. This guy is injured again. He's injured again, guys.
Yeah.
He's about as reliable as Alan's mustard wall. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just made of biscuits. Big up
Alan's mustard wall's always reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah, reliably bright.
Reliably mustardy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I like that you put a door in there, though. That's just to break things up a little bit. Like, you just put a white door. Alan, where are you?
Is that
at?
an Ashley Phillips jersey behind you, by the way?
But the number 35.
Doesn't Ashley Phillips wear 35?
No. That's just my name with the 35 on it. That's just something that was brought to me as a gift. So, anyway, sorry. What were you saying?
No. It's all right. I liked your story better than what I was going to ask. Look, Sean, Jacob, and I were just talking about midfielders. Like we moved on. Dragusin's old news. Forget that. That was about 8 hours ago now. Forget that. Lots of talk about midfielders, and we're just talking about the kind of profiles that we'd like. I think everyone agrees they'd kind of like an Eze, but he might be like 75, 80 million. Same with the Elise types. Where are you looking at? Are you, in your mind, looking at a youngster like Wharton, like Hackney, or are you looking at a little bit more seasoned, should we say?
So I'm at the thing where I want Spurs, wherever they can, to bring in players that would push the first team or like displace somebody. Can we do it in midfield? Like, I think we need to do that. Look, Bentancur, sensational for me. I would like he's going to be in the team. Maddison when the team's fit. I want to see maybe you can improve in regards to like ball carrying or like progression or like getting up the pitch quicker in transition. Sometimes I think we're slow in regards to that, but then people will say because before obviously all the injuries now happened, we were quite good at doing that. Maybe if we can get a top number 6 in, I would like that because Bissouma, he started the season well and hasn't really he dipped in form massively before he suspended and away for AFCON. Bentancur, people say he can do that job, but they pretty much think he's more of an 8. So if we could get a top 6 in, but it's not going to happen. I see people put Hatate as an option. I don't know if we can get hold of him, but he's played under Ange before. But that would be the area where I'd like to see us or have somebody come in if we can, to displace people or improve the team in that aspect. But I don't think you'll get that in this transfer window. I think our midfielder may be the next area that we improve in this window, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it will be I don't think it'll be a Gallagher. I don't think it will happen. I think it'll be more like a loan move again, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting, guys, isn't it? I just want to go to a couple of the super chats and comments about midfielders. Sean, I'll start with you. Actually, let me get the super chats out of the way, and then I'll go to it. Big up Oryx Beats, who said, surely we can give Roma Jose his beloved Dyer and Skip plus a little cash for Cristante and swap Højbjerg for Illing Jr. I love this. Yeah, I'd love to think
hands off Dyer. He's taken.
Yeah. Dyer. Listen, Dyer we're using to sweeten the Dragusin deal. But big up Oryx Beats. Listen, I'd definitely give Roma Dyer and Skip for Cristante in return. I don't know if Roma are that stupid, if I'm brutally honest. So big up to you. Do appreciate that. Oryx Beats again has come in and said Dybala as a stopgap central attacking midfielder, right winger. Need a Johnson upgrade. I mean, a Johnson upgrade after one window is probably a bit harsh. But for me, I'd love Dybala in just in general. No stopgap, just I'd love him to be in at Spurs. The next super chat was from Graham, who has said, big up Savva, great content like always. Thank you very much, Graham. Really, really do appreciate you. Thanks for that. And now here's a few comments that I picked up, Sean. I'm going to start with you, right? So Reese, first of all, came in and said, who could you see us getting in midfield? Followed by, would you take Calvin Phillips? Followed by Phillips on loan with an option to buy. And on top of that, James Flower, just to add it to you, said, question, I don't think this is a question, but I think what he's saying is, I don't think Bissouma is good enough. I think the question is, I would love Paulinho. I mean, he's saying, I think there's Sean, would you let go of Bissouma and bring in Paulinho? Where are you with all of that?
Yes, I would. Would let go of Paulinho. I would let go of Bissouma and bring in Paulinho. I think Paulinho is awesome. And Bissouma to me is a little bit too hot and cold. I think he started the season really well, and I don't know what's happened to him since the Luton game. But sometimes he's there. A lot of the times he goes missing. He's a great player on his day, but he's just got a little bit of I don't know. He's sometimes I think he's just switches off a little bit and just goes a bit missing. So, and you know what? I think you could get a really good fee for him. Because I reckon you could shop him, if you wanted to, you could shop him around and get a really good fee for. I'm not saying we should, but I think that there is money in that player. We paid 25 million for him, but I think he's worth to somebody else a double that potentially. However, I also would like to see Bissouma play in the 8. I haven't seen him. I always said last season I didn't think he was the monster 6 that we were looking for. We should have got. I think he started out. I was in the mud apparently because everyone.
There's so much mud flying around the internet. It's amazing, isn't
Sean's
it?
always
mud everywhere.
It's actually mud's really good for your skin. A lot of Karens pay high dollar for mud bath.
Jacob, yeah. I'm 85, but I just have a nice sort of mud routine.
All that mud
every day, mate. That's all it is.
Before and after stream, the mud mask. Yes, helps keep everyone fresh.
Yeah, I think that Bissouma, for me, I'd love before I pass judgment on him, I'd love to see him play with Bentancur behind him in the 6, and then see what Bentancur in the 6, and then see what Basuma's like in the 8, because I don't think we've seen him play the 8 in this system. And I think he could be a better fit. I've always thought he's a better fit for that role, sitting on the left-hand side. But what was the other part of the question? So Polini, yes. Basuma, I'm okay with selling if we can do something.
Yeah, and
better.
it was possibly Calvin Phillips with a kind of loan to buy option, I think was the other question.
Look, I loved Calvin Phillips at Leeds.
Agreed.
Haven't seen him at Manchester City, so don't know. But rumours are he's put on weight and he's lost a little bit of the pace. I'd like, if we're going to go down that path, it has to be a loan. You can't. I don't think you can sign him until you've seen him. So try before you buy, and I'm okay with it. If Ange thinks he's the right guy, I'm okay with him, because I can understand the logic. I think he's a really good player, because he could sit in that 6 and ping the ball, Lord of the Pings all day long. But
Lord of the Pings,
want to see him. I want to see him first before we commit to a 4-year deal on that guy. Otherwise, you could be stuck with a lemon.
Absolutely. By the way, Jacob, when you need to jump, just jump, mate. And everybody, I know you need to jump in a minute, but please do subscribe to Jacob. All we need, though, right, to make this panel great is a Danny Kiriakou appearance. And then you've got Danny, who likes to bury Alex. Alex likes to bury Sean. Sean, in reality, buries both of them. Alan's mustard wall. You've got my mud that's flying around everywhere. And then Jacob's got his man bun going on. It's just, there's so much happening in our YouTube community. It's unreal. But yeah, Jacob, if you do need to jump, please do. But if somebody will be so kind to put Jacob's link in the chat, there's 620 of you in here. If you get 20, 30, 50, 100, go over there and subscribe to Jacob. That would be absolutely brilliant. Subscribe to the other guys as well. And if it wasn't enough for you that we brought on Sean and his chair, Alan and his wall, Jacob and his man bun, Mr. Box Office is here. The self-professed, I don't like Ange, Spurs won't change. We know my club. Daniel Levy's not going to do anything. Alex,
again.
What's happening, Alex? The last 48 hours, it's been quite a whirlwind. Where are you at?
Is it Alex or is it Box Office tonight? Who is it?
Yeah, which one is it?
It's always Mr. Box Office on YouTube, because Alex is he's got other business to attend to. But the point is, I mean, as I said before, I'm not changed. I've not changed at all. I was calm about the situation. I said it on the time added on, by the way, because Alan was there already. I said, and even agreed with Jay, who I think is the most deluded Spurs fan in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean? Right. Jay, the most deluded Tottenham fan in the world. And even agree with him. I said, well, you know, what am I complaining about? I know what my club's like. I'm seeing people saying, "Oh, credit Daniel Levy. Sorry, he's done his job. Thank you very much. Well done for doing your job, bruv. Well done for doing your job." You know what I mean? You get paid handsomely to do your job. You know what I mean? If you don't do your job, if we don't do our job, we get sacked. Or Alex gets sacked for his job. You know what I mean? I think anybody on this other panel who do real jobs get sacked. So well done for doing your job, Daniel Levy.
Alex can get sacked. Mr. Box Office is unsackable. Just so
well, boss is Alex. So Alex, I've got to do what Alex wants me to do. You know what I mean? So you know that's how it is. You know what I mean? So, but the point I'm making is, yeah, I mean, on the signing, yeah, great. You've done well. You've got a signing.
You know what's the weirdest thing about you, Alex? Right? Is that when it comes to your football or Box Office, when it comes to your football points, I really struggle to understand some of your takes. But when it comes to you explaining who it is that's talking, who's in charge between Alex and Mr. Box Office, and what's going on with your alter ego, I somehow managed to dial in and understand exactly what's going on there. Like, you do a very good job explaining the dual personality, but it's just difficult to understand your football points.
Well, I think it's quite clear. It's quite clear what my football point is. I've said quite clearly that, you know, at the end of the day, right, he's done a great job, but he's done his job to get the players in that we need to, and that's it, right? And that's it. Werner, okay, we move on. Then Dragusin, okay, that's a good signing. He's coming in to compete for Romero and Van der Ven's place. That's simple as that. He's not here for backup. Yeah, I'm not hearing backup. Yeah, if he doesn't compete for Romero and Van der Ven's place, he's a failure, in my opinion. And that's it. Sorry. You know what I mean? And also,
just wait till Werner hits the game winner at Old Trafford this weekend. You're gonna be talking to Mr. Timo Nice. You're going Timo.
Well, yeah, but, yeah, well, listen. I'm sorry, Jacob. I love you, Jacob. Yeah, and I understand your take. You know what I mean? I've seen you. I've spoken to you on your show. And well done to you. But the point I'm saying is, I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, yeah, because I've heard somebody saying that someone's elite. He's elite.
See that Jacob's got to go. Jacob's got to go. Much love, Jacob. See you later. See you later.
No, I will be listening, Alex. So please tell me what your thoughts are of me saying Timo when he scores the game winner. Also, happy Dragusin Day, everybody. It's a good day to be happy. Man buns, we did it. We did it, Sean. We did it. We manifested this. So big up, everybody. Make sure y'all are hitting the like as well, because everyone, I know you haven't hit the like. We're probably got that Martinelli conversion goals scoring rate. Let's get it up. Whatever it's at is not enough. So make sure you go ahead and hit them likes up. Big up, everybody. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Happy Dragusin Day.
Love it. So, Alex, I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. I don't know what Alan and Sean made of that. So, listen, I've been a very harsh critic, as everyone knows, of Daniel Levy. But when we do a deal today, centre-half, the manager wanted him, it's the first 10 days of the window, I've got to turn around and go, yeah, credit where it's due. Yes, it's his job, but this is what we've been asking for him to do, Alex. Surely what we can't do as fans is say, I don't like the owners because of X, Y, and Z. But then when they change X, Y, and Z, we then go, oh, but it's their job. Like, surely there's got to be a bit of give and take. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not suddenly going, oh my God, Levy's brilliant, but this is what we wanted from him, right?
What did I say in June to you, Savva? What did
Something
I say
about
in June?
Erling Haaland and John Carew.
No, I didn't say that. What did I say in June?
You
said,
say that.
okay. Yeah, I did say that. And I stick by what I say as well. But let's go back onto the point. Right? I said, right, okay, because they've caused this. They've caused me to think like this, and caused a lot of Spurs fans to think like this.
Yeah.
Spurs fans like me. Yeah, the culture at the club is because of them. Yeah, right. That little boy 20 years ago, 25 years ago, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, and it's because of them, because the culture that they have impressed on us, and especially myself. Right. So for me, right, this is going to take a time. Right. This is just easy for them. They should be doing their job. Yeah. When it's 2 seasons in, right, when things are not going right, yeah, and the fans are getting fed up because we're not winning trophies, and that's just going difficulties time, and that's it, right? We'll see whether this is real, and that's it, right? We stick by a process. We stick by this process, like Brighton have done right now. Yeah, this is just early. Yeah, everyone's loving Ange because they're loving the fact that we've got like great football at the moment. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, but until then, or if we win the league, right? Because it's a bang average league right now. Yeah, right. You got your 2 signings in right now. Yeah, right. Okay. Someone said on South New Coys last week said, "Oh, Ange Postecoglou is elite. He's elite manager." Okay, if he's elite manager, go and win the league then. Go and win the league. Okay, then shut me up and win the league. You know what I mean?
Sean, I'll come to you first, then Alan, just before you do. By the way, Liverpool 0, Fulham 1. Villian. I don't know why I've Villian. Villian.
Wow.
Like a villain, but pronounced differently. Willian has just scored. I mean, it's been all Liverpool, but Willian has put Fulham 1-0 up after 20 minutes. Sean, would you like to rebuttal Mr. Box Office? And his claims.
I didn't really. Again, back to the same point I was making a minute ago. I understand his crazy dual personality thing, but I didn't really follow the point you were making. I don't get it. What we saying?
Put it in a sentence, Alex. What is it you're saying? What that Spurs shouldn't be? I'm paraphrasing that Spurs. We shouldn't go too mad because literally this is what the club are meant to be doing.
It's like this is what Brighton have done already. They've stuck by a plan already. So I don't know why, they're doing their job at the end of the day. They've got the signings in that the manager wants. Okay, well done. You should have done that a long time ago. You know what I mean? and so that's cool. Okay, right. Okay, so now it's up to Ange to do what he needs to do this season, right? I think we've got a chance of doing well this season because I don't think the teams have really been impressive in the top six. I think anybody in that top six has got a chance of winning the league. I think it'll be Man City because they'll get a run in and win the league. But my point is that we need to continue this, right? We
Yeah.
need to continue this process at the moment. And even when things are not going right, you stick by your man. Like you said in June, I've said this already to you, Savva. I can't understand what Sean is saying, that he doesn't understand what I'm talking about because I think I'm talking English. My point is that I've said quite clearly from June, right, that I need to take a lot more convincing than just 2 transfer windows and saying, oh well, we've done what Ange wants in 2 transfer windows. I need to see when things are not going right, like things are not going right at Newcastle. And look what that Newcastle fans are saying right now. Oh, we don't like Eddie Howe at the moment. We need to get rid of him. Yeah, Ten Hag. He was the best thing last year, right? Now Manchester United fans want him out the door. And
can I ask a question though, Alex? But before I go back to Sean, can I ask a question? Is this not a case of? And listen, I can be critical, right? I can be as critical as the rest of them. Isn't this just a case though of almost waiting for things to go bad so that we could turn around and say, there you go, that's why I didn't give any praise at the time when praise might have been due? Sean,
I think that's a bit unfair, though. I've got to be honest. I think that's a bit unfair because I think I explained earlier.
I think I get what Alex. I think I understand what Alex is saying. Alex is basically saying, similar to the point of you were making a point earlier, Sam, and I think it's good. It was a good point that people judge the window when the window finishes, and it takes time to figure out whether the window, is a good was a success. You don't know immediately.
Sure.
And I think what Alex is basically saying is it's too early to judge Ange or the whole process because it's too early, right? We're 5 months into a long project. So basically, Alex, I think you're saying is you're just going to wait and see, right?
Yeah,
that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. But for the point of when you're doing podcasts, when you're doing streams halfway through a season and 84 times a week, like Savva and I and Alan do, I think you have to at least analyze on the job, on the go, about where we're up to at the moment. And so whilst I think you're right to reserve the judgment and say, let's wait and see what happens, I think you still have to say, okay, for now, as the story's progressing, it's doing this, it's good or it's bad or it's indifferent or whatever. You can still reserve the right to say, I'll wait and see if it turns into anything later. But for now, how do you think it's going for now?
Yeah, listen, it's fine to say that, but at the same time, right, is that okay? It's again, like I said, it's like a WWE storyline. You don't know until you get to the end of the story. We never get to the end of the story because we always get halfway and we change halfway.
So are you annoyed at people calling Ange elite before he's actually achieved anything? Is that?
I think that's too soon.
I think that's way
too soon. I think that's way too soon. I think that's way too soon. Because at the end of the day, I mean, firstly, we don't even know if he's going to be here 2 years.
Yeah, but Alex, that's the whole point, mate. We're here to discuss what we can analyze. You don't know what the future holds. Correct. I get it. I understand that. But you can at least give your thoughts on the story so far.
Well, the story so far, it looks okay. But at the same time, but Sean, the point I'm making is okay saying that. But the point I'm saying is that I can't. It's not fair for me to say right now that it's looking good. Great, okay. I could say right now, we can win the league now, right? And then you think I'm deluded.
Why do you come? Not to this might. I don't want this to come across as weird or rude or anything. But why do you want to come on to podcasts if you don't want to talk about what we're like? If you don't want to talk about what we've done thus far?
No, I'm not talking. No, I'm saying I'm making my point. I've made my point that saying I'm not. Don't think I'm actually making. I don't think I'm actually being rude saying this. I'm saying at the moment is that from what I don't think I've actually said anything wrong. Actually, to be honest with you, what I've said is that for what Daniel Levy's done at the moment, he's doing his job. Fair enough. I think that's fair. I think that's fair game. People saying giving him credit. I don't see why he's getting credit. I'll give him credit when he comes to an end of a process and sits that process. Right, doing it halfway through a season. Sorry, I've seen chairmen like Brighton stick to a process throughout, doing things from Division 2, Division 1. You know what I mean? Throughout to the Premier League. Yeah, Leicester City, right, and doing that process and getting the trophies that they've won. You know, West Ham. You know, we've never done that. We have never done that. This time round, yes, it looks good. Finally, it looks okay, right? But again, right, until we get to the end of that process, right, I'm still not convinced. And I don't think I'm being rude saying that, Sean. I don't think that's being rude at all. I think I'm actually being very, very clear. The thing is, though, I'm just a stickler. I'm just being a stickler because I know my football club. I know where I'm at the moment. I'm very clear what I'm going.
Alex, I wasn't saying you were being rude.
The thing is, though, I can say this right now. I can sit here and say, you know what, Daniel Levy can easily just say, you know what, sack Postecoglou. I don't really care. I know he can do that. He's just like that.
I mean, Alex, just quickly, Alex, just quickly, Alan, I think needs to jump in a minute, and then I just want to bring up Ren's point, which I think is a very, very good point. Alan, just quickly, before you wanted to say something before you went.
No. So, look, Alex, I get to a point what he's saying, but I think this is basically going because of obviously you backed Poch massively, and because obviously Poch, they didn't reinvest in Poch like 18 months, whatever, like they did, but it kind of went wrong with the Ndombele and stuff like that. But because it hasn't happened since, I think you're just going on the narrative that you think it's going to happen to Ange. And I get that to a point, but I think it's one of them where you can't really use that against Ange because it's what the club have done. But look, there's a clear idea of what we want to do as a club now with the right manager and what we're doing in regards to transfers and all that. So we've got to give it time. I want to see, in regards to that, look, I got annoyed yesterday with the news that came out about Bayern Munich, and I was like, it's typical Spurs doing the same thing, this, that, and the other. It turns out that it didn't happen that way, and we've got it over the line. People are going, oh, yeah, because like this is success. Yeah, it is, but I want to see more of this. I want to see continued like this. Not this window we get into, and then in the summer, we go, oh, I'm not sure we can improve and stuff like that. And we go into the same mentality we've had in previous squads or previous managers. I want to see this type of stuff happening on a continual basis at Spurs, where you improve in an area. So obviously we know where we've got weaknesses. You improve in them areas and you build a squad, because we heard under Poch, you can't improve the 11. You can't improve the 11. How can you improve this 11? Well, you could, because we didn't win anything. I want to see Spurs, okay, in the summer, if we don't get anyone else in the summer, you get 2 or 3 top quality signings in that displaces a Basuma and make Basuma work harder if we keep him, or improve on Kulusevski on the wing, or improve on maybe, or give Porro, competition at right back to keep Porro invested or keep him at a higher level. I want to see a continued success. I will give these owners and give players and stuff like that credit where credit's due. And they got the deal done this one where it looked like it was starting to slip away. Fantastic. But I want to see more. I don't just want it to settle. I don't just want to settle and rest of our laurels. That this is.
So do you think this is a case of? I think, Alex, what I think is probably people are saying is like.
Sorry, Sav. Just before you rebuttal, just quick, Alex. I wasn't calling what you were saying rude. I was saying I didn't want to be rude. What I was saying was that I was asking you, like, if you didn't want to analyze where we're at along the process, then that's what these shows are for. I agree with you. Like, reserve judgment, wait and see. There's no point in getting super over the top excited about, because we haven't done anything yet in the grand scheme of things. But I wasn't saying that you were being rude at all. I was just saying I didn't want to be rude.
What I would say, Alex, is that again, I'll caveat this and say everyone knows I can be critical, but I mean, one thing I would say about Spurs is this is the first time for me in I want to say 20 years that I've looked at it and gone, I see fully what the process is now. Like, years gone by, I got loads of stick under Poch where I said I don't get the process. Like, I get the team, I get the 11, great 11, good manager, but I didn't get what was going on behind that. I stand by that. I still stand by that today. Same with Redknapp. But I can see it now, Alex. Look, does that mean I'm going to sit here and go all happy clappy and oh my God, I love Daniel Levy and I love No. But surely you could say from what we've seen so far, enough from this window and enough from last window that you can see what they're doing. You can see that the deadwood is slowly but surely going. All the players we've talked about for years, we've talked about, haven't we? Lloris needs to go, gone. Dyer needs to go. He's on his way out, right? Jed Spence isn't good enough. He looks like he's going. Reggie, go. Brian Hill looks like he's going out. So he's doing, him and the scouting team, him and the technical team, they're doing what we wanted as fans, right? And they're bringing in some good players. We don't have to agree with all of them. I'm not going to sit here and wax lyrical about Werner, but you know what? Dragusin's a top player. Maddison's a brilliant player. Vicario's a great signing. A doggy. Van der Ven. Surely, I think that's what people are saying. Can't we just say, for where we are right now, all the roads are pointing towards positive land? That sounds like the worst theme park ever, doesn't it? Welcome to positive land. But you know what I mean? Surely, Alex, I'm just trying to bring it back to a place of, I think that's what people are saying, rather than always, I've got to be convinced. Aren't they slowly but surely convincing you through the different signings and through how quick we're moving that something's different at Tottenham right now?
Listen. There's always going to be moving parts to whether things are going to happen, right? I'm sorry. The thing is, I'm going to listen. Unfortunately, I'm not going to change my mind because I've discussed this with people that love Ange already, and they exactly know what I'm talking about. And these are people that people know already. So, it's not nobody on this panel right now, to be honest with you, and they know who they are. You know, and I've said quite clearly, I'm going to take time, regardless whether things are moving parts are doing well, right? I just want to get to the end of the process. Now, if we go out and do something,
but what
like
does that?
Cup,
but when is that, Alex? I'll ask that to you and Sean. How can any football club ever judge what the end of a process is? Is that the moment we win a trophy? Is that the moment you win a league? When does have Man City ended a process, or is a football club just a continual process? You're constantly changing and moving parts and upskilling, and so when will be the moment where we go, this is it, I'm convinced we've done the process? How will you know that?
To be honest with you, Savva, because I've been up and down being a Tottenham fan. I don't know that at the moment, but at the moment I'm just not there at the moment. I see what people are saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you what you're saying. I see the movements in terms of transfers. They're getting the players that they need in. They're getting the players that they need out. I see what you're saying, right? I'm not disagreeing that because there are certain people out there that, like I said, I discussed this with other people, and I know people like Jacob, for instance. I know he celebrates signings. Fair enough. That's what he does. I'm not going to have a go at him. Yeah. There's people like Kuva. I discuss it all the time with him. Asthmatic, Hotspur hippie. Yeah, who understands what I'm talking about. So it's not that I don't discuss it with people that love Ange, yeah, but they get from where I'm coming from. I know exactly what Mr. Box Office's personality is like. I'm a stickler because I know exactly how
I get what you're saying, but
feel,
let me.
And it's not my fault. It's not my fault. The last how many years? Like I said, I've been a Tottenham fan. That this culture has been ingrained into me. That's not my fault. Yeah, so it's for them to convince me. And yes, okay, this half a year, it's been great. Okay, the football's not been great certain times, right? I've defended him for certain times as well, and you know that as well because I've done it on Mr. Box Office TV as well, like the Fulham game, the Chelsea game, and people have argued with me as well. I've defended him for that as well. So
okay, but let me. Okay, so Sean, let me come to you. Do you think though that we need to get the stage as a fan base where, listen, I think it's absolutely fine during a game to be critical because that's what all fans do. We're living in the moment. After the game, we criticize a game. But looking at the bigger picture, do you think what a lot of people are saying is that it's about, well, hang on, it has been bad at times in the last 23 years. So while it's good, while we can see shoots, this is what we should be concentrating on, not the last 23 years? Or do you see what Alex is saying and that, listen, it's been ingrained into us that, that this could go wrong at any moment? How do you picture it all?
Look, I think to a degree I agree with Alex. Like, to each their own, right? If you want to celebrate, like Jacob wants to celebrate signings, and everyone's got their own sort of, micro takes and micro things that they seem more like they consider important. Like I really enjoy the financial side of the football club, right? Like that's my thing. It's not everyone else's. Some people find that really boring. I think everyone's entitled to feel how they want, experience how they want, take the energy they want. You know, some people don't want to let, like, I think you, Savva, you try and keep it all kind of like this, right? Like you
I try.
You don't let the kind of the volatility of the moment take over. And I think it takes that's what it takes. You know, that's what takes the world go round. That's what makes the world go round, is that everyone's got a different vibe to it. So I don't think there's any one particular way you should support Tottenham. If people are skeptical about the future because of the past, totally get it. If people want to just buy in because they've had so much disappointment over the last 25 years or 50 years or however long you've been on this planet, then and they want to go, you know what, right now everything's cool, so I'm going to get on board the Ange train. I think, you know, have at it. Go do what you want. I think everyone should be free to celebrate or to experience Tottenham Hotspur as they want. I don't think there's any one way that you should evaluate what's going on. I personally, I think I'm somewhere in between. I try to be balanced. I try to find the reasons to look at both sides of the coin and go, you know, right now I think it's the most positive that I've seen the general fan base for a long time. I think that the ownership are starting to take note and doing things with a bit more of a I think they're starting to take a little bit more risk, a little bit more of a looser grip on things. I don't think I think they're seeing the wood for the trees a little bit more. How long it lasts, I don't know. I don't know what the end goal for them is, whether they want to sell the club in the end of it or whether they want to expand and, you know, keep their hold on it. Look, you know, I respect the fact that we've done with the Tottenham Hotspur have managed to remain relatively competitive whilst also being sustainable and frugal and keeping the finances of the club in check. I respect that. I know other people don't. Other people want us to be a bit more like, you know, loose with the purse strings and throw caution to the wind. To each their own. Like, I don't think there's an issue with it, but, you know, I think that this is what healthy debate is for, right? This is why people sort of tune in, why people give up their time they want to understand different people's opinions and perspectives. And I think it's nice that everyone sees Tottenham through their own particular lens. I think that's really important.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something to you two?
Yeah, go for it.
Right? Can I just?
We're going to end in 5 minutes. By the way, I'm going to end in literally 5 minutes. So after this, I do want to end it on a positive because this is a positive 2 days at Tottenham Hotspur. We've got to remember that, right? Yeah. And I want a positive from you, Alex. That's what I want.
Okay, I'm going to stick to my opinion, but I will say this, right? Sean, I'm sorry if I don't get used to this, but I'm sorry if it sounded like I was having a go at you. I wasn't having a go at you. You're absolutely right to have your opinion. Like I think you're brilliant for what you are, and you stick to how you are, and that's it. Yeah, that's a fact, and that's a fact. Yeah, you don't need to explain what what you do. You know what you're good at, and that you stick to where you are because that's where you're successful, and that's it. Same with you, Savva. Yeah, there's a reason why I stream with you because I've got respect for you guys. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be on the stream regardless. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm not trying to spoil it for other people. Yeah, like I said before, I speak to Kuva. Asthmatic, I've spoken to Hotspur Hippie, I speak to Ellie, that I've said to Ellie amount of times, Højbjerg is bang average, yeah, but I still love her as a person, as a friend, yeah. So it's not that I don't love Tottenham.
You know what? There's more than just Ellie out there that absolutely love Højbjerg. Like
exactly,
loads of people that love him. You know,
exactly.
So can we move to something positive? Let's move to something positive. Just for listen, if you guys are okay, just for 5 minutes, we'll finish at 1:45. 5 minutes, right? Listen, positives. We have signed a forward that is going to help out with our forward line. We have signed a centre half who is going to get a lot of minutes. We know that is fantastic. We're looking at Reggie. Looks like he's going back out. Jed Spencer's gone on loan. It looks like Tanganga's going to come back and then go straight away on loan as well. Eric Dyer looks like he could be going to Bayern Munich. Brian Hill is wanted by the likes of PSV. So far, everything's moving in the right direction, right? Everything is at the moment. Whether or not, listen, I'm not going to sit here and go, yeah, Werner's amazing, but everything I can see what they're doing for a reason. It is moving us up.
I'd like 5 or 6 days of rumours bubbling up, something that me and you can talk about, right? Something just a little bit of calm, then like some noise around Højbjerg, maybe moving to Juve, bubbles up. We can talk about that. Then a little bit of relax again, and then the last sort of 10 days of the window. And I want there to be a lot of noise around Tottenham bringing in either a midfielder or a couple of big names, something to talk about, because I feel like it's all the last 72 hours, I feel like I've literally been sat in this chair the entire time. Bugsy's been neglected. I feel like I've been doing a lot of this, and I'm absolutely shattered. I was supposed to be doing a fan thing tonight. I can't do it, guys. If anyone who's watching this was going to come over and join, I'm sorry. I have to do it tomorrow. I'm too tired. But I want everything to calm down a little bit because I'm a little bit emotionally drained from the last 48 hours, and then I want it to start again. I don't want the window to finish here. I want it to I want some more frothing to happen into the last sort of 10 days of the window, you know? And then I'll be really happy. I think then it's been a really good window. And as long as we get past City in the Cup, don't lose to United on Sunday, no more injuries before February, and Sean's a happy boy.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, just really, really quickly, Alex. Look, we have got two. I think in all of this transfer talk, it's almost like we sometimes forget we've actually got some games of football to actually play in between. We've got two massive games, Alex, coming up against the Manchester clubs. Man U away, huge game if we're going to try and keep on the coattails of the teams above us and in that kind of top four race, if we will. And then Man City in the Cup. Huge game. Not Man City out. That's Man City gone. That's Arsenal gone. One of Chelsea or Villa's going to be gone as well. Two big games coming up, Alex, isn't it? What do you reckon? What can we do in those two games?
I've said already that I've even asked a question about the Man United game. Are we favourites? Possibly. Because of the situation that Man United find themselves in. And yeah, the troubles that they're in at the moment. I just think that it would be maybe a disappointment if we don't get at least a draw out of that game. With the Man City game, I know some people were very unhappy about us drawing it very early, but for me, I looked at it and thought, well, we've drawn them. You know, it's time to make yourself known now. You know what I mean? You know,
yeah, of course.
You know, and for me, you know, it will show whether we are up there or not. I mean, I don't look at top. I don't care about top four. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be honest. For me, it's either the title or, you know, just get Europe. I'm not really fussed with either way, to be honest with you. I do think that I think that's for anybody in that top six. I generally do think, because I don't think this is a great league this season, that I think anybody's got the chance of the league. I really genuinely do think that. Who's in the top six at the moment? Genuinely do think that. Or top eight, I think.
All right. Well, let me get everyone in the chat and you two to round off the show. By the way, please subscribe to both Mr. Box Office and to Sean at Spurs Talk Show. Round this show off, boys. I want to know, first of all, I'm going to go to the Man United game, then the Man City game. Just give me the Man U one at first. Sean, Man United away. Obviously, we don't know what the situation is. Will Dragusin be ready? Is Van der Ven fit? Is Romero fit? Blah, blah, blah. Man United away. What are you thinking? What's your score that you're thinking with at the moment?
3-2 to Tottenham. I think it's going to be a brilliant game. If you were to offer me a draw right now, I don't think I would take it. I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
I think I'm really buzzed by the news that Romero might be back. Van der Ven said he's, you know, fit and ready to go. I think we got every chance to come away with the points there. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And then as far as City goes, I don't want us to draw the game. I don't want to go back to City. I don't want the extra game. Going back to City is probably going to be a fait accompli anyway. So, you know, not that we don't do well at City, but I think we can, you know, just go for it. You know, almost
fancy it over one game, but over two is a completely different story, isn't it? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like if we were going to City, if we were away, I'd bite your hand off for a draw, bring them back to our place and see what we can do. But because we're at home, I think you just got to throw caution to the wind, have a crack. And look, if you get the 3 points against United, then I think it's it's the City game next, isn't it? Then I think that you and as long as we get away injury free, there's a chance Maddison might be back. Like by then you'd hope that Dragusin's really bedded in. You'd hope that Romero's back as well. Van der Ven will have full fitness. You kind of get into that point where you're like, all right, well, the only concern then is without Sarr and without Bissouma, you know, you're not far away from having a really good, strong team. So I think that you could just have a crack at it. And I'm going to say, why not 2-0 Tottenham in the City game and 3-2 Tottenham in the United game. I'm full of confidence right now in this club, and I'm very happy. So I'm not gonna think negative things.
Okay, Alex, Man United score, City score. I'll give mine after. Don't worry. I'll be fair.
I think we can get It depends on whether we score a chance. I think it would be either 2-1, but I'm sorry, Emerson can't play in defence. No way, no way. Sorry. I think Dragusin needs to compete. I don't really care about Romero right now. I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned, if he's not fit, Dragusin should be taking his place. I mean, I think Van der Ven will be there at the moment, and I think we should be at least getting a draw out that game. But I think Tottenham should get a 2-1 because I don't think it's great at Man United at the moment, and you've got to take advantage of it, don't you? Take your opportunities, like they say. Yeah, that's it for me. To 2-1, I'll say. That you're going to only get that positivity from me, Savva. So you're lucky on that one.
Nice. Well, listen, I'll just really quickly give mine, and then we'll end the show. I'm going to go both the same, but both different, and I'll tell you what I mean. All week I've had 2-2 Man United or 3-2 Spurs. In the City game, I've also got this 2-2 or 3-2 City. So I've kind of got. I think both are going to be very, very close. Man United are not going great guns, but let's be fair, our away games recently haven't been the best. Haven't been the best. And I do see a lot of people whacking scorelines like 4-1 away to Spurs, 5-1. I think that's a little bit too overzealous for me. Man City, I'm going to plead the fifth and say I want to see who is fit for Spurs the week of that game, because
I don't think it should matter though. I think we should. I think we
Can't
should
plead
get
the
at
fifth.
least 2.
I can plead the fifth.
You made us for.
I think we can.
I've just given my score. I think it will be 2-2 in the City game or 3-2 to them. But
okay.
Leading up to that game, if I hear that James Maddison's fit, Romero's fit, Van der Ven's fit, all of a sudden it changes things. If Maddison's not fit, if Romero's not fit, and Man City have got Kevin De Bruyne playing, Haaland playing, it does change things drastically. It really, really does. So, listen.
Well, this is the same side that taken on Man City at the Etihad, didn't they? And drew 3-3.
Yeah, but this is Man City are
now.
But
I'm not saying that. I understand where you're coming
from,
aren't
they?
They're on their groove.
I always worry. about playing Man City.
I hear what you're saying, but
they can dick anyone at any time.
If we're in this positive mood, if we're in a cheerful mood at the moment, right? What I'm saying is that why don't you just go up there and just take your chances? That's it. That's what I'm saying at the moment.
Listen,
but I hear what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing.
I don't disagree. The one thing I think I need to see in the next 2 games is I think we need to massively tighten up from what we've been doing at the back in the last few games. I think we've given away far too many chances, and I just don't want to see that continue. But listen, who knows? Guys and girls, we are going to leave it there. It's been a long day. Great day for Tottenham. Tottenham have signed Timo Werner. Lots of video footage. If anyone goes over to the Spurs Twitter or Instagram page, there's loads of Timo Werner high-fiving and jumping and skipping and nodding and shooting and whatever you want to throw. And we will be getting the confirmation very soon, I'm sure. I don't know who else will be going live later. I think everyone's probably a little bit burnt out. Sean, thank you so much. I know you've been doing some streaming today, so thank you so much for that, mate. Please get over and subscribe to Sean at Spurs Talk Show. Alex, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. I know you've probably had a long day working, so thank you very much. Please go and subscribe to Mr. Box Office. Please subscribe to Football Heritage TV on your way out. I'll be back tomorrow, as always, at 10 a.m., where hopefully by then we've got the full confirmation that he has signed. Much love. A great day to be a Tottenham fan. It's all going very well. Arsenal are in a mess. We're slowly but surely coming right up behind them. Take care, everyone. And as always, come on, you Spurs.